After I was about 5 months into it, we were to the point where we were getting ready to lose the house, the vehicles, electricity's getting ready to get turned off and everything. And my husband's going, okay, I told you, you should have let me go get a job. I said, hold on, it's coming. And a week later, I had $37,000 in my bank account because I had done a product launch. I was able to save the house, pay off all the bills, the whole thing. And I just want to, point out what Jeff said. It's about finding your proven business model and applying it to your business. If you don't have a business yet, you don't even need to look at business models. You need to look at what am I going to do to make money online. That's your first step. And then your second step is going, okay, who else is doing this? Okay, let's see what he's doing. Watch what he's doing and align your business with him. Then you can throw in stuff that makes it bigger and better. So that's me.
All right, things that you're going to learn this weekend. This is a big one. How to focus on one idea and one idea only.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I know. Even for us, it's a challenge. We have boards now up in the office because I'm trying to balance all of my workers too. We even know what each worker is going to do. We have all our ideas. What we do is put them on little pieces of paper. We stick them on the whiteboards. All the possible ideas for big products, for kind of like upsells that'll help existing products make more money, and then additional things. A lot of it's advertising, things like that. Then we look at them and go, okay, which one's going to be the easiest to implement, the fastest, and make the most money, kind of a combination of that. And we move that up and we give that to one of the people in the office. Because what you tend to do is kind of jump between all these great ideas. So yeah, even everything we do, we try to concentrate on one thing, at the most two things. And a lot of times that has to do with the coders, programmers, because we have five guys working on stuff. Well, they all can't kind of work on a project. So one's working, or a group, half of them are working on the current one, then half are getting the next one started. But I would say definitely pick one and one idea only. And I'll go into more details, obviously, on that. You're going to be learning the exact things that we would do if we were starting over again. Say if all of a sudden our laptops blew up, we had didn't have any more sites, we lost our website's hosting, but we know what we know now. You're going to pretty much see what we would do. And it's proven, and you're also going to hear about the mistakes. Sometimes finding out the mistakes, avoiding those mistakes can save you so much time. So my experience of 25 plus years in business, then our combined experience, and then the combined experience online, you're going to find out exactly how to do it.
Yeah, but you're going to getting all the mistakes from Jeff because I don't make mistakes. Only Jeff does.
Yeah. Today she hasn't made any mistakes yet. It's still early. Just talked about mistakes, avoiding those. Sometimes if you start off with the wrong idea, if you pick the wrong niche, Liz is going to be talking about that. You're already dead. You're dead in the water. You can't make money, or you can't make as much. If you picked a better niche, you could have made 10 times more money doing the same amount of work. About staying away from crappy products. We're going to give you a game plan on what to buy and what not to buy, when to buy it, and it's going to save you a lot of money. And then that money that you're going to save, I'm going to suggest that you put it into outsourcing or possibly even advertising. And really, you're just going to pretty much learn the quickest and easiest ways to get to that $5,000 a month. And we're going to have a lot of different things we're going to show you, but I'm going to go through one alone. You can just take one segment of what I'm going to talk about this whole weekend, and that could be enough to get you to $5,000 a month. But we're going to give you a process of stacking things and showing you how to add to your business, and you do want to diversify yourself. The one thing I'll be talking about for $5,000 is list building, but the game can always change. If all of a sudden they start charging 10 cents an email, they've just changed the game. Or if all of a sudden email deliverability keeps going, getting worse and worse and worse, they've changed the game. All those people that put all their eggs into AdSense sites, back when you could get a program and create all these AdSense sites and get them up in the search engines and make a ton of money. I know a guy that was making $80,000 a month, cruising along, bought a house, Google changes the game, changes their algorithms where they rank things differently, and they kick sites out. Well, his sites were the type that left footprints. They got kicked out. He went from $80,000 to $3,000 to $800. That's how quick it dropped off. And he had already locked into that new house and mortgage. Rules of success. Follow certain rules. That'll be another segment I go through. And you're going to increase your productivity by 100% or more, and also reduce your workload. A lot of you are probably spending too much time in front of the computer, too much time maybe away from your family, maybe neglecting health. I'm going to explain and show you how not to do that. And I don't want you doing that, because that is not why you're in this business, to kill yourself. It's a combination of working hard but working smart and not neglecting important parts of your life outside of business. Liz is going to be talking about this, the correct niche. I mean, how important is that, Liz?
It's the starting point. It's the foundation. If you don't have a good foundation, you're screwed from the get-go.
So, yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say screwed, but you really are.
She won't say it, but she will anyway. And how the list building alone can get you up to that level. But don't rely on one thing. As we're talking about traffic, also traffic. We don't want to rely on one way to get traffic. That's probably the biggest mistake I'm making in my business up to this point. I rely too much on one traffic model.
Me too.
And that's not always the smart way to do it. So I've been, in the last 8 months, we've been really working harder to get traffic coming in more ways. But we can still do better. But you'll be learning all about that. And why a blog needs to be a part of your business. Liz will be going into the details on the blog. Your blog, and it's probably tough because I know we don't do a great job on tracking stuff. So I'm sure you don't know how many people come through your blog to join your list and stuff like that. But overall, thinking of the blog as a way to brand yourself, to talk to your people. How important is the blog in your business?
The blog, it's one of those success plugins. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with WordPress. WordPress is the blogging software. It's not a software, blogging script that you install to have your blog. And it has these little things called plugins. And what those little plugins do is make your blog do things that it wouldn't normally do out of the box. So is what I call a blog. It's one of those plugins that goes into your business that's going to make your business do more than what it's going to do out of the box.
And then we'll also go through a sales process. This alone, knowing how to sell your product and what to do when and how to present it, price points and all that stuff, that is huge. I'm going to give you up-to-date information. I only shared one other time on a webinar real recently on my recent launch, showing you exactly what I did, why I did it, the amount of money it brought in, even the amount of money it would have possibly brought in if I had changed that sales process. And it's dramatic. I'm going to be bringing in 5 times the amount of money, how I did it, compared to how I might have done it a year and a half ago or a year ago even. So that's going to be huge. All right. Another thing is how to create your product the correct way from the very beginning, maximum cash. That's also very similar to the sales process. It's how you look at it, and you don't want to just say, hey, I want to create a product. You want to first say, what's the sales process going to be? What's my main goal of that product? From that is then how you create the product. It makes a big difference. The product might not be to make money. You might not be making a product to make money. There's other reasons why you're making that product. And I'm going to be going through the details on that. Copy methods. Now, I don't write my own sales letters. Liz, most times you do. So you can get by not knowing it, but you do need to understand these ways that people get emails opened, that get them read, that get them clicked, how even a simple squeeze page works. Most times it all interconnects. What you use for a subject line, it can be very similar to a headline. You're getting their attention, and your main goal is to get it read or get them to act. So knowing those concepts, things like even Cialdini's persuasion type techniques, reciprocity type things. I used reciprocity in my JV launch for my last project, meaning to get JV partners in. I used some reciprocity tricks to get them to promote, and that was very successful. And I'll be explaining that, I think, on tomorrow or the next day. I don't even remember the schedule. But yeah, certain things like that you definitely need to pay attention to and learn. Some of the traffic, what's the best and easiest? And notice I didn't say free. Free is good, but if you're spending 10 hours of time to get $100 worth of business, that might not be the best thing to do. You may want to spend $100 and make $1,000. So, and it takes you 5 minutes to spend that 100. So we're going to break down different ways to get traffic, different things you can do, things that are maybe working with us, things that we're seeing that's working out there better. Maybe certain things are dropping off. We'll share that stuff with you. And we'll also explain the difference between advantages to free and paying. That's another one of my weaknesses. I need to get more paid. As weird as that sounds, I need to pay more money. Because again, if you can make $1 and bring in $2 of profit, you should be doing that all day long, as much as you can. If I come up with a model where that's working, I'm putting $500 in there. I'm putting $1,000. I'm putting $10,000 in there, knowing I'm going to make $20,000. Another thing is 4-day cash machine. You want to give them a teaser as to, you've used it a couple times, correct? Mm-hmm. We've used it.
You and I have used it. I've used it by myself. 4-day cash machine was something that was developed by Frank Kern. Actually, he just put a name to it. It's a great little model that can bring in big paydays really fast if you have a list. There's also other ways to leverage other people's list and do this whole 4-day cash machine with other people's list also. But essentially is what this is creating an amazing offer and only offering it for a short period of time. There's a lot of psychological things that go into it to make people buy. It's got to be this killer offer. I mean, basically you're going to be selling something for $47 that most people would have to pay $5,000 for. That's how great the offer has to be. So I'm going to be totally going over that with you guys and showing you some examples of how Jeff and I have used it and how I've used it in my business.
Here's one that I like, is how to make a product in 1 hour. Now you're going to spend a little bit of money, having other parts of it made and put together, but it's something you can use over and over again. You can use it for branding, building your list, making more affiliate sales. I will go through all of that. I do this all the time. This week I made two products that way.
Oh, that's the idea you stole from me, isn't it?
I don't think so. And really overall, we're just going to be going through real-world examples, showing you numbers, showing you our sites, showing you strategies, tricks. There's certain things that whenever Liz and I talk, like I'll be like, whoa, she mentioned something about changing up her sales process in the back end and introducing 100% commission products instead of what she was doing before. And even that was a significant change, and she had never shared that with me. So there's going to be stuff that...
Because he steals my ideas. He really doesn't.
there'll be stuff that even I'm going to be in the back taking notes when Liz is up here. Because, yeah, we're living it. There's sometimes speakers that get up and they'll be talking about things that they really aren't doing, or they're not doing anymore. Sometimes they're talking about stuff that's already dead, that's not working anymore. And I'm like amazed, like, oh, man. Hopefully these people aren't going to go home and use that as a business model, because that business model does not work anymore. It's broke. It's, like if someone's being taught to do a bunch of AdSense sites, man, those are almost impossible now. You've got to get authority sites up, and you've got to do so much link building and stuff compared to the old days. Well, if that person's teaching you, pop them up, you'll make a ton of money. That's not